who has mentored you, or someone who is saying as your spiritual father,
Pastor,
who is yours?
That's my father. I have a
TOBI.
father. I have a biological father. Prophet
Pastor.
Dr. I follow the Pentecostal move very much. I'm
Also,
probably
Takasa,
the
Sao
most
Pastor.
versed person in Pentecostal
That is
move in
insane.
Nigeria and in the US.
Yeah, no
At my
anything
age, I
in
think
common.
I'll be a leading figure in authority on that. And I've followed that
So
for a
you
long
cannot
time.
find
And there are
anything
names I
against
don't
him.
want to mention, but I have a father.
Cannot
I grew
deport
up,
him.
I preached my first message at the
Cannot
age
do
of
anything to
8.
him.
And I've been preaching the same thing
He
ever
married a
since
British
then. So if I still
citizen.
believe the concept of
How's it?
spiritual father as portrayed by the
What
Nigerian
video?
church,
See?
I'm not sure I do so.
He
But I
commented.
have people that I talk to, people that I weigh doctrine,
So that's
people that I
like.
debate doctrine with to know what is sound
Why
and what is
videos?
not sound. And I'm always open to correction.
Are you worried
Well,
that
from,
sometimes your
Pastor
message
TOBI.
is seen as negating your lifestyle, the manner in which your association with people? Are you confusing people in the manner you move?
No, actually, if people were true to the gospel of Christ, they will realize that they call them friends of sinners. That's what is in the Bible, isn't it? Friends of sinners and all these things. And that's his name. And he spoke to a generation. He said, what should we do with this generation? He said, when we came, the Son of Man came dancing and eating, you called him names. Another one came, Elijah came, and he was in the wilderness, looking boring, looking whatever way you want to call it, and they still didn't accept it. So I can't be concerned about how people view things. Opinions are cheap. Facts are sacred. And so the fact of the work is, if you come close to us, you'll see the result. The country cannot deny it. There is no prime minister that can deny it. There is no leader in this nation right now that can deny the result of the work we've done. When the Metropolitan Police leadership came to the church, that was about 3 years ago, they sat down, they went to church, it's public knowledge. They asked us to come. Normally, dignitaries go to church to associate in UK, to associate with black people. No, they came to learn. They invited me to teach them, then they came to learn. It is our result. How many lives have been saved? How many nights did we take off the street? How many businesses did we create for this economy? How many taxpayers' money did we save them? Because they spend millions on one homicide. We took many of them out of that lifestyle and we gave them a better lifestyle. The results speak louder than the system that we use. Our system is different.
Let me ask you, is Park Nation a cult group?
It is not a cult group. Cults don't operate in the open. We operate in the open.
Apart from your father, whom you say is your spiritual mentor, who in Nigeria is also one person that you will say you are modeling your lifestyle or your ministry after?
I'd rather not model. I love them all, and I'm sure we have a movement that is fading away. We have a movement that is passing away. That doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just that there are new frontiers. The people that are there now, they were new frontiers, and I stand on the path that there is a change needed, and we're all standing for the change, the remodeling of the church, because I believe in the church of Christ. However, I also believe that the status quo must change, and we are new frontiers for what the new church of Christ will look like.
And who are these people? You said there are a few of them that you look up to.
I don't think I'll mention them because I respect, not look up, I respect people. I respect those who lead the cause for change, societal change, not just forward change.
In 2005, you arrived in the UK.
Yeah.
But in all of these years, the UK judges have described your stay in the UK as illegal, stating that your claims about your ministry and work there are, quote, grossly inflated, quote, hyperbolic, and lack substantive evidence. How do you explain or maintain your stay without regularizing your immigration status in the United Kingdom? Are you staying illegally there?
No, and that is the misleading part of the report. We had a 7-hour tribunal, 7 hours. And in the tribunal, I was given about a few minutes to talk about any immigration stuff. They wanted to talk about Spark Nation. and we defended the honor of Spark Nation, which is not even why we were there. And so it is not illegal to still have a case in court, to put facts on the table. Judges may disagree and they may not be wrong, but that is why we have a system that continues to query and make inquiries into things until certain facts are established. But I can assure you right now that these facts are being established, is seen more clearly, and we are winning on every side.
But in that court, you argued against deportation. If you say deportation is not the meat of the matter, you're citing community contributions and you're married to a British citizen. You said, given the tribunal's decision against you, that you are not worried. Do you believe this reflects systemic bias or your failure to present sufficient evidence?
It's many years case. And the reason why we suspect systemic biasness is you can't say your claims are inflated without giving me the proof as to why. Your own institutions, the Metropolitan Police from the Scotland Yard, sat down in the church. Do they go to churches? Why are they there? The Metropolitan Police from the Scotland Yard gathered all the charities in the UK, the major charities, and asked them to go to Spark Nation. I wrote for the Home Office. I wrote solutions for the Home Office. I was part of the Race Disparity Committee for number 10 during Theresa May's days. Why am I there? I've never wanted to work with government. I don't like working with government on some occasions. Why are we there? When we got to Croydon, we never knew where Croydon was. When we got there, we reduced knife crime by 50%. It's on record. So if you then turn that against me and say they are inflated, I'm asking, show me the proof that they are inflated. Because we cannot just base truth on subjective matters. Truth must be backed with fact. We have facts. We have, and more than all the paperwork, we have lives. I've got the largest followership of young people still till today, after all the persecution for more than 10 years. 10 years we've been persecuted without one single proof, allegations without one indictment. So why should we not suspect biases?
Well, in all of this, why would you say, or what makes you think that there is a system bias against you? Why do you think that you are being singled out in all of this?
We had a situation where people believed that I was supporting a certain political party. We were in Croydon doing our work. All the political parties were in our church. The first letter, by the way, that we received from Charity was that I should not be biased towards a political party. They didn't do no investigation. What they didn't know was the service they were referring to, all major political party holders and seekers were in that service. One person, because the person believes that my agenda was to go against the gay community. That's his belief. And from that day, we at the reconciliation meeting, leaders, pastors in the UK were there. But he believes, and he wrote it, so it's public knowledge, that my evangelical zeal was to make sure that the gay community in that area does not survive. Now, he took a dossier, according to him, of evidences against the church to the sacred ground of the parliament in the UK. And they submitted it to the to the Internal Affairs Minister or something like that, who submitted it to the police. And the police came back to say they can't even investigate one thing because it's all nonsensical. That is why we believe that the same person, because he's an MP, he's the same person sitting behind these things, making sure that he's not defeated. But we've said, and I said on BBC, that if there is any honor left in a system like this, what such men should do is to apologize, unless you are saying the police authority of Great Britain is inept, which will be quite unfortunate.
So, in essence, there are those who allege that you frolic or you have a close association with the Conservative Party. Do you?
Well, there are those. I was sitting right at the back of the former minister in one of their convention, And what I've always done is to make sure that I advocate for our community, the black community in the UK, to make sure because remember, I'm taking these guys out of a certain lifestyle. I cannot just dump them into the hope of going to heaven. We're still living on earth. So those who want to go into politics, those who want to go into business, I have to create relationships that can help them. So I was in that convention, and I was given the privilege to sit behind the Prime Minister at the time, the Conservative Party. We had issues, and we invited other parties, and the Conservatives came to try to help. But we are way above any political party right now. We have a much solid system.
You're falling apart, falling out rather with the Conservative Party. Do you think that is exactly, in stating it plain and clear, that is exactly the problem you are having right now?
Not at all. The person attacking us is not even Conservative Party, but it's another party. So, but area by area, I believe completely that our problem was politically motivated, and the facts are there. I'm not saying things without fact. We were not fighting the gay community at the time. We were not fighting, but yes, I had people who wanted to be in that seat, in that area, and I still believe they are more qualified. And so, can you imagine that over the years, you're saying Spark Nation has this allegation of millions of pounds. You have not indicted anybody. The police has not invited anybody. And you now, after all that, you're not touching me. You then go into deportation. Does that not look like you're looking for anything? And then, not just the deportation, the moment they write the judgment, it has to be broadcasted. People have issues every day. I can mention Nigerian leaders or UK leaders or even Russian leaders or leaders from other countries that have had this problem in the UK. But Pastor Tobi's one has to be broadcasted, has to be written, the whole world has to know. And so that's why we believe what we believe.
Are you afraid of deportation?
Not in any way. I've been here for 20 years. People should go and ask. My records here are clean. I stand tall above the nations. Not one single criminal offense. After all the noise. So we've achieved what we need to achieve in the UK. 140 businesses is what I've added to this economy. It's public knowledge. 140 plus businesses. And so to live anywhere else would be a pleasure, but I'm going to get what rightfully belongs to us.
You said you're not afraid of deportation, and that two shoes could sustain you in Nigeria for years if you were deported. This suggests that you have some confidence in your wealth. What is your net worth? What is your major source of income?
Well, I don't have no net worth. What I know for sure is that I've raised people. They've done well. I brought them from
The crime of Pastor TOBI is simple. Because I was seeing a political gathering with the Prime Minister. That's what I consider info. These are called the Study Commission. So I say that they are claim against Pastor TOBI. Although he came out for 3 years. His only crime that he was supporting a political party, conservative. That's why they are crucifying him. People are looking at why is he wearing designers. Who else is God? Everyone wear anything, Versace, Massino, D&G, Felem, and all. No problem. Once they have the money. Yes. They were asking how is he getting his money, or how is he raising money. He said, we don't pay small businesses, and when it blow, you get money from that there. You don't collect tithe, you don't collect anything. No tithe, no donation from anybody. Because the Islamic organization expect them to bring out £5,000 every month, every year. That was it. They say that they are charging him for fraud of 1.8 billion. $1.8 million pounds. Thank you and God bless. So that is the channel I like. And follow me on Facebook. And thank you.